permitted the oracles of God.
So when you understand that position you've been given a level of responsibility with these laws, statutes, and judgments. If you play this responsibility like it's just afternoon school special, it's going to be some problems because the responsibility of this has dropped. And the first level of this responsibility is make sure you're responsible at your home before you move to the assembly. You can't be responsible down here and your house is in shambles. It's impossible to do it because all you're dragging is what I'm bringing from home to here. Dead weight. When we say all hands on deck, that's what we mean if you're able to get there. But if you got a pattern of showing up when the work is done and leave before the cleanup starts, you have no integrity. You, just like you heard it's a day going on, you heard when it say be there at 10:30. Now, we're not saying this about everybody. Some people have to work or whatever to get, but the ones know who I'm talking about. And this ain't no shot at nobody. Y'all, but if we gonna be an assembly, we gotta have this thing set up so when somebody come, hospitality was nice. But we don't eat out of our hands. You can't just grab meat off the grill and eat with your hands. Pour me a little bit in here. Pour me 2 sips right here. No, it takes preparation. Let's get it. Romans 3, and where you at?
I'm at verse 3.
What it say?
For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
If you think just because Israelites got the law and you don't want to believe that, I don't believe you niggas, the Jews, that's your problem, not ours. You think it's going to make a none effect like it ain't going to happen? Y'all, it's Israelites all over corners. Everybody starts off with Deuteronomy 28. The problem is, ain't nobody ready to practice 1 through 15. We stuck on 16 through 68. Our problems. Let's get back and start practicing 1 through 15 and our problems will disappear. But we start making excuses for 16 through 68. How we under curse, dog. We can't do right. Well, that don't mean you can't try. And if you fall down, get back up, dust yourself off, and try again. Go ahead, read some more, bro.
Verse 4.
Right.
God forbid. Yea, let God be true.
Let who be true?
Let God be true. But every man a liar.
Right.
As it is written.
Right.
That thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged.
When thou art judged. See, if you count every man a liar, if you start out like that, then what that means is you're going to have to go back to the beginning. See, we got a form around here is everybody want to bring up Matthew 18 after it's already been done. So now we into sloppy seconds.
That's nasty.
Sloppy seconds. You didn't holler this 3 weeks ago when you were talking about another issue you was involved in. Now we're going to play sloppy seconds. I ain't playing it around here. Let's read some more. No, we can hold that. Let's get right to it. Romans 10 and 25. We're going to speed this up just a bit. And we're going to get into some things to understand position. Sometimes when you're put in a position of wrongdoing or something wrong, I should say, have happened. And people say, can you judge this matter? But then when the matter flips around and you say, can you judge this matter, and you don't like the outcome, that ain't my problem. It ain't nobody's problem but yours because you're fence riding. Romans 10:25, you can back it up if you need to.
It doesn't exist.
Huh?
It doesn't exist.
Hold on, where we at? I want not wrong. I'm sorry, Hebrews 10:25. I'm looking at the wrong one. Hebrews 10:25, y'all. My bad. You can back it up if you need to. 22. 22? Y'all like it ain't that, boy.
Hebrews
Yes, sir.
10:22.
You're on the 22.
Everybody there? Romans chapter 10, verse 22. I'm sorry, Hebrews. Let us draw near with a true heart.
Well, what kind of heart?
A true heart in full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works, not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together.
Not forsaking what?
The assembly of ourselves together.
See, y'all, that's a deal we cannot overlook, y'all, how important that is. And what we're talking about is forsaking the assembly. We're not talking about not just coming. We're talking about where to the point that it causes chaos and the assembly folds. It collapses. And we're stuck with nowhere to go. Y'all have to think about that. If the father dies, then that's a child that's fatherless. If a woman's husband died or a man's wife died, those are widows. They need a comfort zone. They need a place to relax and know that I still got family, even though mine done passed on. I still got family, a place where I can go to. They closer to me technically in spirit than my flesh-born siblings. That cannot be forsaken, y'all. This is what gets you through, because as long as we breathing, death gonna keep happening. Y'all, sooner or later, we're gonna be going to one of our funerals. If we keep breathing, unless the Messiah come back first. So ain't no need us fooling ourselves, y'all. You finished with that? You
25 again.
Okay.
Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another.
But doing what?
Exhorting one another.
Right.
And so much the more as ye see the day approaching. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin.
See, if you have to continue going law to law, this ain't saying that we ain't teaching no script. But once you know, can't you pull a note off the refrigerator? How you got to keep looking at the note, thou shalt not steal. Going to work. I ain't going to go in that man's drawer, or I ain't going to steal his lunch out the refrigerator. I need a note. Don't steal nobody else's lunch. Every day. When is it going to click up here? We finished with that, bro? Let's get right into some understanding assembly. Psalm 68, and y'all, then we're going to get into the lesson itself of understanding certain administrations of an assembly body. Y'all, there's elders around here. And elders are just like a bishop. There's rules before you reach that status. Don't call me an elder and then treat me like I'm a new booty. Unless I'm an elder doing new booty work. And don't busama me. B-S-U-M-A. Don't busama me. Hey, elder, I understand all this. Busama me. Don't do it. Blow smoke up my... Don't blow smoke up mine. Trying to appease me. If you call me that, at least show me why you saying that. Or don't give me the title. I ain't told you to call me that. If you saying it, you're saying it because you've read something, you say, I should call you that. But what I tell you to call me is servant. Just like you hear every day, servant. Elder servant, if you want to move it up, but don't remove servant.
That's right.
Psalm 68.
Starting at 1.
Start at, get right down to, start at 1. Who got it?
I got it.
Okay, let me get there.
Everybody there? We'll be reading in the book of Psalm at the chapter 68, starting at verse 1. And it reads, "Let Yah arise, let his enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melteth before the fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of Yah. But let the righteous be glad. Let them rejoice before Yah. Yea, let them exceedingly rejoice. Sing unto Yah. Sing praises to his name.
Right?
Extol him that rideth upon the heavens. By his name is Yah. And rejoice before him."
Now, this is where I wanted to get to, verse 5, y'all, because this is what we're talking about in assembly. Y'all, it has to be a place for the father and the widows, fatherless and the widows. That's why when we get in line, we say, who first? Get in line.
That's right.
The elders get in line. And what we're talking about is our guests, older, than live long enough so you know the Most High done spared their life if you're able to say that in body and age as well as spirit. Y'all get in line first. And we start to make preparations for that so all families can eat together and different things, and you don't have it split up when it's going on. Next, these people get in line. Next, these people get in line. We got brothers right around here always contribute up front with work and labor and get in the back of the line. And guess who all in before them? Ain't contributed nothing, and we're not talking about what all we're talking about is contributing integrity. That's all you have to contribute, and then we know where you ought to be in line. You know where you ought to be in line. But this bro ends up at the end of the line, and he hear about how good something was. So we had to put a fix on that. There's a way to fix it. Because even though they may say, bro, I'm just here for the cause. No, you're supposed to share in that cup too. You're supposed to taste of that meal too. Everybody ate when the Messiah was around. Know why? Because they took up baskets at the end. So we know everybody ate. But we can't do it with slothfulness. It ain't gonna happen. Food don't just show up unless there's some work. Manna bread showed up after we agreed to certain things. Okay, we'll do right. I'm gonna test you. Here goes some bread. Here goes some chicken. But how soon did we lose that? After we belched 2 times, we were looking right back into Egypt. Man, this ain't like Rally's Burgers. This ain't like Lee's chicken. What is this quail? Healthy chicken? Where we at?
We're in the book of Psalms, chapter 68 and verse 5.
What it say?
A father of the father.
A father of the who?
Of the fathers. And the judge of the widows is Yah in his holy habitation.
See, that's what he's looking for in assemblies. A father of the fatherless. Can't be put in positions where we can't be a father to a child who's lost his father or his father done disappeared. That's a responsibility. It's like taking on a ready-made family. You can't worry about what that child's parent said. You took a package deal. You're that child's parent now. It's a package deal. Comes with it because they're fatherless. Now they got a father. Yo, we fatherless, ain't we? We sit here. We're fatherless here. Let's get some more.
Verse 6. Yahweh setteth the solitary in families. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains.
What are they bound with?
Bound with chains. but the rebellious dwell in a dry land.
You can hold that. Let's get 68. I'm sorry, 82 and 3. And y'all, we just hitting a couple, and then we're going to get right into some 110, because it's very important, y'all, that we understand these things. And it'll settle a lot of hearsay, so to speak. Don't know who to believe. If you start off saying, I believe all y'all lying, let's see what the truth say. The only way you're going to get to that is to start at the beginning. If you don't start at the beginning, what you got? Sloppy what?
Seconds.
Unless you like sloppy seconds.
Yeah. Let me read that 1 through 4 then.
Yes, sir.
82. We're in the book of Psalms, chapter 82. I'll read 1 through 4. And it reads, Yah standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. How long will ye judge unjustly?
How long will we do what?
Judge unjustly. And accept the persons of the wicked. Selah.
So y'all, that's what it got to come down to. Somebody's lying. And there's some righteous judgment. But if we start at the beginning of truth, we're going to find out who's lying. It is not to find out who they are so you can point a finger at them. It's so truth will reign supreme. Or you're going to have splitting continually. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 3.
What it say?
Defend the poor.
Do what?
Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy.
See, if we create an atmosphere that you have widows or divorced or fatherless, and we continue to create that, y'all know what that's going to end up being like. Ain't no sense in us fooling ourselves. You know the chaos that's going to bring. You want to hold on? You want to keep going?
I want to read the whole
Okay.
Verse 4. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Yes.
I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men.
Like who?
Like men. And fall like one of the princes. So
don't get it twisted that you become a son of God yet, because when you're that, you won't die. Unless it's eternally in the lake of fire, but you still won't pass away, so to speak. So you won't be like Satan. This is what we have to understand. Satan is the same age he was when he was created. He knows about how to play the slick game. He knows about seduction. The same seduction he did in the garden, he's doing right now. So when men talk tough in their early stages of life, he say, I'll be back. When you're only in gummy bear stage. I'll be back. See how tough you talk then. Because I'm supernatural. I can't die. I seduce the same every day. There's no difference in Satan's seduction because he's supernatural. You gonna fade out. And then you're gonna have to try to live this marriage when gummy bear even goes away. When you know the best you're gonna have is a kiss and a cup of coffee. When you're talking about in the morning. Well, we got to be prepared for that. That was one part of your life. This is the end of it. Like Abraham said, I'm too old for this now. But not once did he chase tail. Loaded with cash. Everything around. Wasn't concerned with that. I'm 99, my wife 90. What do you mean, children? We way past that, ain't we? What a spark coming from somewhere. What's happening? Yeah. You finished that, bro?
One more verse. Verse 8. Arise, O Yah, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. And that's that.
Okay, y'all. So now we're going to get kind of into some understanding that we can move forward on understanding the assembly structure, so to speak, and how things have to play out and how you have to respect each other, and even understanding that being called the elder don't mean you disrespect anybody under no circumstances. If your lesson ain't so, a child that's just reached puberty can't understand it, you have to restructure your lesson. Because you have to include them. They in the Leviticus 15 now. If a girl reach her flower and a boy reaches his puberty, so to speak, his voice cracks and he's changed. You like, that boy ready, he could create a life now. Got to watch him. He keep going in the bathroom with that serious catalog. What's going on?
Not serious.
Yeah. Right, he looking at too. Right. But so y'all, at that point, you have to be ready, and you have to be ready for that within your own household first. You have to know how to deal with widows in your own household first. And y'all, and it's not that widows, we always think of them as being past 60 years old. But if you 20 years old and you married a 20-year-old man and he go off to war and get killed, what are you? At how old? 20 years old. You're a 20-year-old widow. The rules apply for that. And what happens with that? She has to come back to her father's house.
That's why the law was stated that a man who was just married couldn't go to war.
Yeah, for how long? Yeah.
He had to stay at home with his wife for at least a year.
To cheer her up.
Cheer her up, prepare everything, take care of his household before he checked out, because he may not make it back.
That's right. James 1:27, y'all. We're going to start there.
Oh, boy.
What did you want in that first 10?
James chapter 1. Bag that up.
It's 1 and 1.
Start at 20, 21.
You got 27.
I know, I want you to bag it up.
Start at 19.
Start at 19. We start at 19. All right, yes, sir. I was blocking lights out, huh? Yeah, last, yeah.
James chapter 1, verse 19. We're everybody there? Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear.
What we gotta be?
Swift to hear. Slow to speak. Slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of Yahweh. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness.
Oh, what?
All filthiness.
See, not some filthiness, all filthiness. Because it's filth. You think you can show off some Jordans and you just stepped in wet dog doo-doo? I don't care what toothbrush you get, it ain't coming out of the grooves. You got them Jordans, somebody say, something smell like wet dog doo-doo.
That's the nice George.
You cheesy, bro. You got them all.
All filthiness. Go ahead, bro.
Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness.
Of what?
Of naughtiness.
See, superfluity of naughtiness is excelling naughtiness. See, if you don't understand the word strange when it's mentioned in the Bible, is always comparing it to abnormal. It's like cameo jam. She's strange. And I like it. Or if you tell, hey, baby, you want to get freaky tonight? That's abnormal.
Abnormal.
It's easier to just say, you want to get abnormal tonight?
If you look it up, that's what it says. Abnormal. To be abnormal.
We should have took this back to 12, to be honest.
No, we got a few. We got to get caught up. We way behind. Go ahead.
And superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul.
To do what?
Save your soul.
Y'all, if we ain't in it for that, we wasting our time. This is what it's not about saving your flesh. It's about saving your soul. You already done told the Most High, my flesh, I don't even look at it anymore. Job talked about his flesh. Though worms chew on this body, I know I will see the Most High again.
No, he did. That's right.
As long as it turned up, it's going back, y'all. Ain't nothing you can do to stop the worms from coming out of this body when you die. Go ahead, bro.
22.
What it say?
But be ye doers of the word.
Do what?
Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
See, you ain't deceiving nobody if you just a hearer. Because people wait to see the doer. This is a living book. It says, read what it say to do, and then go do it.
Like it.
If you just keep reading it and never go do it, that's going to be a problem. You ain't going to never learn how to be a servant until you become one. But everybody want to be in the chief seats.
Yeah.
Nobody want to wash feet. Go ahead, bro.
You never know the answer to arithmetic if you never learn how to use the formula.
That's right.
Verse 23. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
See, you know that man looking in the glass is only a hearer, but you fooling him first before you try. You tried on him first. You handsome, ain't you? Denzel and Billy D wished he looked like you, don't he? Mm-hmm. Right. Go ahead.
24. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was.
See, go from that to, nigga, y'all know I'm gutter. I'm gutter. You done forgot that quick which way a man you just was.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to explain why I'm gutter. I don't want to hear about no gutter. I'm trying to get out the gutter. Go ahead, bro.
Ain't no such thing as spiritual gangbanging.
No.
It's an oxymoron.
25.
But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continueth therein.
See, there's a word to say and continueth therein. This a long walk, y'all. This a walk till you dead or the Messiah come back. One or the other. But to get perfect liberty, that means that I know he spared me on some things that I should be dead on. So when I look at a situation, there has to be some sparing there with mercy. If you attack violently, then expect to be attacked violently. It's a natural order of things. Go ahead, bro.
But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. So
y'all, it's saying you will be blessed in the deed. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, the blessings will come. They gonna come. It's automatic. The Most High ain't set up no failed program. That's the 12-step program that have you come in and keep repeating what you there for. Hi, I'm Willie. I'm an addict.
Hi, Willie.
Hi, Willie.
Hey, Willie.
Hi, I'm this, I'm that. Once you could keep telling yourself that, the door is open for failure, because I've already introduced everybody that I'm around that I'm a failure. Not saying the program don't have no power, but what we're saying is, if you look at behind the scenes, if I say I'm cured and I'm not addicted to this anymore, somebody gonna lose their job, because you ain't got the same number of people there. What they gonna be doing? Sitting around twiddling their thumb? Man, where are the addicts? Man, I've been here 10 hours. Where are the addicts? They're all healed. What that mean for your job?
Gone. Phased out.
Get some more, bro.
Verse 26.
What it say?
If any man among you seem to be religious and bridle not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart.
Whose heart?
His own heart. This man's religion is vain.
See, if it deceives you, that's already a problem. You choosing to believe a lie. You know Benjamin Carter ain't the Messiah, and he was driving buses in Chicago. Where is that in the prophecy? Is that riding through Jerusalem on the donkey? Is that what he was talking about? That was an allegory for driving the Chicago Gazette? We know better than that. But we choose to believe a lie. You lie to yourself. Every one of these camps like that have these that believe in false prophets and different things, you knew he was lying. But you say, well, maybe I'll give him one more chance. I'll see if he tell another lie. Now he go from this false prophecy to this false document, and then this false thing, and you saying, well, maybe he gonna get it right sooner or later with his lies that I keep believing.
I hit that
Isaiah 30 and 8.
10 real quick.
Yeah, hit that 30, start at verse 8. Isaiah 30 and 8. Y'all, what we are talking about, none of this could happen if you don't allow yourself to be deceived. When he said, there shall be many coming in my name saying, I am Christ, I am Messiah. Look, y'all, that's just not people that believe it in the Bible. That's all of them is Bible based, because some people don't even read the Bible and say they Christ of the Bible. Like all them Hare Krishnas and different things. They say I'm the Messiah, but you're reading another document pertaining to but it's coming out of the scripture, and you in that book, and you're saying you the Christ. So if you chase him and he's showing you I got a different book, you want to believe a lie. You look at yourself and you say that lie sound better than the one I told myself yesterday. Maybe it'll work. You know better when somebody say I got some 60-inch TVs round back in the alley, but you can't go back there and see first. Just give me your money and I'll bring it back around. And when you peel it off, 13, 14, 15. Now, how you getting a 60-inch for $15 first off? And when he go around that corner, you be like, boy, show taking him a long time. Maybe it's somebody looking. And then finally, your spirit will tell you, go around there and see if that man around there. And when you go around there, you know what you see. Nothing.
No man been around here.
Go ahead, bro.
Wait, Isaiah, you got
Go ahead, brother.
Isaiah chapter 30, we're going to read 8 through 12.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Isaiah chapter 30, verse 8. Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for a time to come, forever and ever.
See, for a time to come, that means from the time he write that down, this gonna work till the Messiah come back. Till he comes back for a time. Because when he comes back, we ain't got to worry about this no more. Go ahead.
Now this is a rebellious people.
What kind of people?
A rebellious people. Lying children.
What kind of children?
Lying children. Children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, but right things.
Read that over.
Okay. 10. Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceits.
Prophesy what?
Deceit.
See, prophesy deceit. Tell me it's possible for me to have 10 women with no job.
That's deceit.
You can't get a whore with no money. Who you fooling?
And she want more than sunflower seeds in a blunt.
Yeah. That's deceitful to tell somebody that's possible. And then if you use trickery and you use David getting married to Abigail in a cave and saying this is a situation a man got married in a cave. This is on a move through. Saul is after me. I'm on my way this way. But this woman, we got to get married. That's like stopping off in Vegas. But David is heir to $1 billion throne. Abigail has got all of Nabal's money and her 5 handmaidens with her. You think no money? What is no money going to do for that? You got 6 miles you got to feed plus yourself. And another wife was with her. But yet, if you go back to the beginning of that book, when David first killed Goliath, and then Saul said, that you killing Goliath, come with my first daughter. She's yours. The first thing he said is, I am poor. You ain't got no money? I ain't got no money. I'm a shepherd boy. He said, well, I tell you what. Go give me 104 skins of the Philistine. You a straight warrior. That'll pay your dowry to marry my daughter. David come back with 204 skins. You know how close you got to get to a man to get 4 skins? You got to do that. Yeah. So when he came back and throwed a sack of 200 on there, he said, this boy is truly anointed. But that's the poor man part that should have been used, not the man when he's heir to $1 billion throne and finna take it because Saul is on his way to be dead. You finna take over $1 billion enterprise, so to speak. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 11.
What it say?
Get you out of the way. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression.
Trust in what?
Oppression.
See, when you trust in oppression and you have an idea or something you believe scripture and it's got you hustling backwards, you're trusting in oppression. If I get 10 women to have babies by all of them and ain't got no job, I'm trusting in oppression.
The next word on you silly.
Yep.
What other way you gonna trust in? What you think gonna happen? I got 12 miles now to feed.
You building up oppression, poverty,
depression,
and depression,
and
anxiety,
contempt.
We're not saying by no means, because it'll be shot out there, they saying don't do. We ain't never said polygamy wasn't a permissive will of the Most High, but it got rules. If you take care of one, you sure can't take care of two.
Rules create order.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Also, I've heard a lot of people say that, the Most High said to be fruitful and multiply. You don't mean that you have all the babies that you can have being fruitful and multiplying if you can't take care of it, if you ain't taking care of it. Just because you spread the seed and making more and more of use, that's not what he meant by that. Be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth. He didn't say that you got to you can just have as many babies as you want to, and that's okay in his sight. Or even say, because he said, be fruitful and multiply, I got to go out here and have a whole bunch of babies.
No, that's deceiving yourself for oppression.
Yeah.
Because you're overlooking that, cut you off, like you're overlooking the scripture that say, he that buildeth a house and ain't counted the cost is a fool.
Right.
You ain't counted up. If we have another one, that's 3, let me see with these, that's 3 more packs of Pampers, 2 more things of Infamil. Damn, they done locked up Joe who's been stealing Infamil. So I got to pay for that full price now. We got to think about what we going to do. We're going to have to think about some techniques that we don't stop the duty of marriage. There's techniques in there. If lust is not overpowering you, there's times that a baby won't come. When you can be with your significant other, there's a time frame, and then there's a cutoff point. All you women know what I'm talking about. Y'all know when a baby won't be produced. But if you can't wait, it's going to always be a problem. Not only this, but Ezekiel 18 talk about men who can't wait even during that time of the waiting. Girl, you ain't through yet. Pull that rag off. I'm tired. Let's get busy.
Let's open the founder of her youth. Shalom, y'all.
Shalom. Where we at?
Verse, I'm going to read
12.
Just 12. We hold that. We just want to get into the heart of that as you go on defeat
yeah, I just finished.
to yourself. Go ahead.
It says, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon.
See, you trust in what?
Perverseness.
Look up perverseness for me. See, how do you trust in that? So when we start to get a handle on what you're trusting in, and these things ain't been tried or tested, there's gonna be plenty cross-contamination. Everybody gonna be on grand. What used to be on grand?
In the mood.
That's what I heard. I ain't never been down on grand.
Verse this is 38:68. Lewd.
What is it?
Lewd.
Lewd.
To depart, turn aside, to go wrong, go crooked, devious, perverse.
That's good enough. I think everybody got an understanding. Go ahead, bro.
To be lost from view.
To be what?
To be lost from view, to become devious.
See, you get lost from view because it gets so bad that you're wondering who know about your perverseness, so you only come out at night. It's always close to an alley.
Sure, some freaks come out of there.
Yeah, what come out at night?
Freaks.
And then you could run back in the alley if you see some light coming. That's where perverseness drives you to. Go ahead, bro.
That's it on that.
All right, y'all, we're going to get right to the heart of this matter. We got to get into this, James?
We did.
Did we finish all that? You went to 27? Are that James?
Yep. You wanted first 2.
Okay, let's get right to 1 Tim 5, y'all. We're going to read all of this, y'all. And there's some understanding, y'all.
1 Tim 5.
But if you call certain individual these things, make sure that they are fitting the requirements before you let it come out of your mouth, or you deceiving yourself. Don't call me elder and you ain't seen me do any of this. Unless you say, hey, elder with gray hair, then I know what elder you're talking about, just a man with gray hair and got some age on him. But there's 2 types of elders, older, but the script say for one, neither one should be looked at with a strange eye, so to speak, because it don't matter if it matters in the sense that only because it's age, because if it's one old and still don't know the truth, they're still getting grace put on because they're still alive. Who you think allowing them to still breathe? That would be a problem if you're saying you don't keep the law and somebody's still alive and been away. He said, I give the wicked time to live so that they get it right. If you still alive, you still getting time. You just can't play that time like it's going to come again. Oh, I got all the time in the world. He been letting me live this long doing this rotten stuff. Why should I stop now?
Right.
Okay. Go ahead, bro. Where we at? 1 Tim 5. We're going to read that whole chapter. Go ahead, y'all grab that. Go ahead, grab that. How long you got before you buy?
I'll stay about 45.
Okay, that's good. We'll be done by then. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You get it. Who got it? If I got it.
Yes, sir.
Clean on his eyes.
Yep.
1 Tim chapter 5, verse 1.
What it say?
Rebuke not an elder.
Do what?
Rebuke not an elder.
So what does rebuke mean?
It's G1969.
What it say?
Each placer, to strike upon, beat upon, to chaste with words, to chide, upbraid, rebuke.
So
Chasten, that is, with words, to upbraid or rebuke.
So can you not tell an elder that he got to do right? Is this saying this? No. As we get into it, it's going to tell you why and what's the measuring stick surrounding that. Nobody gets a pass. Rebuking means to chastise, but it say you have to do it with a certain order.
Right. There's a difference between rebuking and reproof and correction.
Right. You can't chastise your parent. Can you rebuke your mama? I done told your AWS, the pork gonna kill you. Your old AWS, pork gonna kill you. You think the scriptures give you permission to do that? I don't care what they don't know. Go ahead, bro.
Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father.
As a who?
As a father. And the younger men as brethren.
As what?
As brethren. The elder women as mothers. The younger as sisters. With all purity. Honor widows that are widows indeed. But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home.
So right here, if you got a widow and they got net, so we know this is an older widow. Let her show her nephews and different things. Because she's a widow, she most likely ain't got no children of her own. So she have to show her nephews and different things how to handle business. She still has that responsibility within her house or her family, her brother's children. Go ahead, bro.
Let them learn first to show piety at home and to requite their parents. For that is good and acceptable.
See, that's
your house.
That's good and acceptable. See, when you talk about what's good, it may not be acceptable. It's good to give to the homeless, but it's not acceptable if it's not according to the charity in 1 Corinthians 13 chapter. Because if I give all my gifts to the poor, if I do all this, if I don't have charity, I'm wasting my time. It's not acceptable. How you gonna show off giving somebody some money? Homeless man, come over here. Watch how I do this. You hungry, you ain't ate? Get you something to eat. That's not acceptable because you did it before me. You want to be seen of me. You want this man later on to give you some praise. That's the dude that gave me them $5. I went right around the C&K and got me a hog sandwich. Thank you for that $5. Oh, that's what you did with it? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 5. Now she that is a widow indeed and desolate trust in the power, and continue in supplication and prayers night and day. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. And these things give in charge, that they may be blameless. But if any provide not for his own.
For what?
But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house.
Especially for those of where?
His own house. He has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
See, some will say this just was talking about widows. It wasn't talking about your own household. Well, it's just got instruction. Your nephew's included now. Whose house is that? They under your watch. It said if you can't take care of your home down here, you wasting your time. That's what people want to see. If you doing a certain thing, if you a plumber, but you got a Johnny on the spot outside your house, something wrong. And it's been out there for 3 months. You waiting on supplies, right, to come in. No, dog, just, it's easier right now. I'm gonna get around to that. I gotta break that flow up. You a plumber. People that's looking for a plumber want to make sure how you writing out a contract and they can't use the toilet. Yeah, and then I'll put you a trap right here, and yeah, we'll put 2 couplings over here to get that water on at the washer. Oh, can I use the bathroom real quick? Oh, the water ain't on. And then I'll go ahead, bro.
Verse 9.
What it say?
Let not a widow be taken into the number under 80 years old, having been the wife of one man.
See, so what it's telling you is under 80 years old. You know, there's a rule about a widow and certain time limit. That's why it's given age. It says 60 years old. We have to look at this from a different perspective now. Because at 60, most likely, what's coming into play for women already done took place? Huh? See, and that's what most women call PMS, putting up with men. SH, no. No, that ain't the cause, y'all. Go ahead. Where you at?
Verse 10. Well reported of for good work.
Of what works?
For good work. If she have brought up children.
If she have done what?
Brought up children.
See, she's already done this work, y'all. We have to be careful of putting all of this work on her again to raise children. But this is what's happening now. We got grandparents raising their children's children. Because they're not taking the responsibility, so the grandparents have to take over. And then you're going to try to instruct them and tell them on what to eat. Bring them the food when you bring them. And then you won't have to worry about me serving them pork and beans. Pack some food with them. Go ahead, bro.
If she have lodged strangers.
If she have done what?
Lodged strangers. If she have washed the saints' feet.
What has she done?
Washed the saints' feet.
See, y'all, so this is a widow that got all of what the instructions is saying. She done lodged strangers. That ain't mean she put them up for lodging. 1, 2, 3 nights till you be on your way. It's just a pit stop till I get on this way. Need a place to stop and rest. That's why all of these hotels off the highway say lodging. $29.95 a night. $69.95 a night. Lodging. And lodging depends on how much money in your pocket. If you ain't got one nice lodging, you're going to have to go out the window and let them be knocking on the door. Hey, you in that lodging. You on day number 2. And when they open the door and go in there and see the window open, they know you didn't have 2 days of lodging. But this don't mean anybody get to come in and lay around. If you get up and go to work, they have to get up and go to work. You have to put them in the car with you. If not, what you gonna be doing at home? Boy, I hope he ain't in my secret sock drawer where I keep all my stash. Man, man, he better not be eating my oatmeal raisin cookies, I tell you that. If you had him at work with you, you wouldn't have to worry about those things. He'd then be able to buy his own oatmeal cookies. Go ahead, bro.
If she have relieved the afflicted, if she have
Relieve the afflicted.
relieved the afflicted,
Yeah.
if she have diligently followed every good work.
See, y'all see that word diligently followed every good work. That's her job, y'all. That's what the big mamas was about.
That's what our sister Judith was.
Yeah.
Read and remember the story. It was Judith. She was just like this.
That was like Deborah, the nurse, that took on Rebecca and watched her till she came of age so she could marry Isaac. That's the same Deborah that they gave, everybody came out all around nations to see about Big Mama at her funeral. The same Big Mama that's mentioned in the testament of the 12 patriarchs in the testament of Naphtali. Everybody loved Big Mama. Where y'all think these things come from? Yeah, and see, when we talking about the widows and the father and lodge them in the house, y'all, we didn't put our people in old folks' home back in the day. We was coming up. Your friends come over and be a hospital bed in the living room. Hey, Big Mama, your friends. But because times have changed and it takes two people working, you may have to put them in an assisted living. But the problem is, ain't nobody going to check on them. You get out there, they pissy as a goat. These drawers y'all changed you in last month. Staff members. Go ahead, bro.
11.
Verse 11. But the younger widow.
But the who?
The younger widow.
Is there a such thing? The younger widows? Go ahead.
But the younger widows refuse. For when they have begun to wax wanton against Christ, they will marry.
See, and they get to the point that they're not understanding their widowhood. You have to get this in your mindset. You're going to want to marry. You know, like in the book of Tobit. How many men did that demon kill?
7.
7. They thought Tobias was going to be number 8. They had already dug his grave. And when they found him in a position that most men don't want to do, cuddling the next morning, and he's still alive, they like, oh, a miracle didn't happen. Yo, so it's always to take in everything in totality, all of the events that's surrounding widowhood, so you own it, the whole point, so you don't look at it and say, that only meant them women, old women. It didn't have nothing to do with young widows. Young widows have to return to their house, to their father's house if their father is still alive.
So
and when they get to themselves, they wanting after a while, instead of just taking this all in, man, my first husband died, this is like this. Do I want to go through that again? Do I want to go through? No, I'm young. I'm ready to get married again. And you got to be careful that you're not on the rebound.
Daniel, explain this, that what it just broke down in verse 10, it tells you to do these things for the widows.
Yeah.
But then when you get down to 11, they say the younger ones refuse to do this thing for them, because that's why they have to get back out. You take care of the older widows, but it's saying the younger widows don't do this for, refuse them, so that they can go back out, like you said, and remarry. If you took care of them at 20, as a young widow, she'll stay in that status the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Being taken care of. That's why I said refuse to do that to them, so they can get back out there. So because they will get back out.
Right. Because see, they'll wax wanting against Christ. It's the same thing in 1 Corinthians 7:7. It say the younger ones, you know, are the unmarried. This is the same position. The married care about the things of their husband and not the Lord.
Right.
And the unmarried care about the things of the Lord. So it's pointing from that perspective that if she get married, she's going to slowly start to lose her love for the Lord. Let her get built up in the Lord and then get married. But if marriage is just in her point, she going to lose her first husband, which is the Messiah. And then you're going to end up with an Ike Turner or somebody on that level. So they start to wax wanton to get married.
If you all read the book of Thecla, in the books of Adam and Eve, she did the same thing. Thecla was espoused to be married to the prince of the city. And Paul came along and was teaching next door to her. And she sat and listened to Paul the entire time he was there. And when he left town, she burned out with him. But she was engaged. She's like, no, I got to go and do this and learn about the Lord first. And she went on and followed Paul and got instructed in his teachings of the Lord. So that's an example of that she put off her marriage.
Let me give you a perfect example. Give me Luke 10 and 40. Hold on, go ahead, sis. Go ahead. What you got? Hold that, y'all. Go right to Luke 10 and 40. We're gonna get a little bit of understanding on this. Go ahead, sis. What you got?
Was that the sister that walked in front of the brother and he told her to walk behind her?
That was Thecla. Oh, yes. Because he explained, you know, you're beautiful. I'm a man too. You know, so
yeah,
we're gonna keep this on the right side. You just stay back behind me a little bit, so I don't be tempted.
And y'all, this is about Martha and these Lazarus sisters. Verse 38, Luke 10, verse 38. And y'all understand why it's saying a younger woman, get your mind straight, understand this, because once you already been a widow at an early age. So this is drama to, like the one boy that got killed on his wedding night. Remember the boy in New York? Police killed him undercover. Yeah, Sean Bill. That's a young widow who was devastated at that point. Should she get remarried? Should she want time? So we got the same example with the football player who killed himself. What you got up there? Oh, okay. Yeah, boy, you got glasses on? Yeah. So just like the boy that Hernandez that killed himself in the penitentiary. Mm-hmm. Now she's already done went out and got a man that looked similar already and was pregnant by him before all the court situations happened. Because she's in widow status at this point, but she's ready, just want to be married real quick to get that took off of her. Mm-hmm. See, this is why in the book of Judges, 11th chapter, Jephthah, his daughter, that he said that if the Lord do this for me, I'll give a burnt sacrifice to the first person that come out of my door. And it happened to be his daughter. So he gave her over to the church. And it say all the sisters took her and they bemoaned her and let her wail her virginity. Because at this point, this is a flip side. You ain't gonna never know a man. This is where the Catholics copy the nun situation from. But the nuns are doing something else because they found 100,000 dead babies in the basement of one bag. So we find out some other things that's been going on with the nuns.
They even have songs about that.
Right.
My mother was raised in a Catholic church in Mississippi, and she was telling me stories about that. And they even have songs about all the aborted babies that they found under that they know the nuns were doing something wrong.
Right.
And they just have little nursery rhyme songs about that. She was telling me that, yeah.
But see, the priests, just like they do the altar boys and mess with them, they become altered boys because they didn't change their mindset on should I bring or bust him out or should I practice this lifestyle from here on out. And then them same priests will tell the nuns, so you ain't gonna give me none. And force them into the same thing. Now, not for a nun to have the big belly up under that, and you're supposed to be free of this. You're supposed to be a virgin. We'll just put you behind here, and when that baby come out, we'll destroy it, and we'll lie and tell everybody you're still a virgin.
And see, look at that. Instead of the wickedness in what they do, why would you have a baby and abort it on purpose when you could just use the condom? If you're doing wickedness, you're taking that wickedness to a whole nother level.
Boy, wickedness ain't got no time to be tearing open packages. Boy. Now we'll, after a good meal, and we will get busy later. And, man, wickedness ain't got no time for that. That's why all these babies show up and the arguments start. You said you was on the pill. You said you was only gonna put the covenant in. So Margaret Sanger do like this. Hey, I got an abortion clinic on the corner. Y'all made a mistake, right? Come and see me. But when the marriage bed is undefiled, married people don't go get an abortion. Because there's a whole lot of explaining to do for a married person. Wait a minute. Y'all's married. Y'all both came up with that decision? Is either some problems in there? The mailman then delivered more than the package he's supposed to. If that's the case. But then divorce should come behind that. So y'all, we ain't playing games with ourselves. I don't care how many abortion clinics they put up. I don't care how many gun shops. I don't care how many liquor stores on there. What that mean to me? What does that mean to me? It's just a building on a corner. Lot was in Sodom and Gomorrah. Until y'all read the 19th chapter of this book of Jasher, you ain't gonna understand what I'm talking about. Beds on the street corners. Live porno on the street corner. Can y'all imagine driving down Kings Highway and not to get to Natural Bridge and you, oh! What's in my bottom drawers on the corner? And then you start to believe a lie and say, oh, it must be righteous. Everybody doing it now. And that's what happens. Go ahead, bro. Where we at? Luke. Chapter 10, verse 38. And y'all, this is concerning a younger widow as well. Let's get this. Or a young woman learning. She have to go back into the understanding of learning how to restructure herself and get back in the house before you get back out there. See, because death brings a lot of drama as well as divorce and any other thing. You may get to the point that where you can't put your full strength into a marriage because you may be scared this man gonna get killed. So there's things you're gonna be kind of being cautious of, but you can't be cautious of death because death is promised to everybody. Hebrews 9:27, for it's appointed to every man to do what? To die. To die. And then it's the judgment. That's what the deal was with Tobias and the sister in the book of Tobit, chapter 6 through the 8th chapter. They had already dug his grave. What do you think? What kind of joy you think the wife gonna have the next morning when he's cold? Crying the next day. It's supposed to be honeymoon time, ain't it? Supposed to be pictures. Y'all having a good time, ain't you? First thing, don't make too many babies while y'all down there. Go ahead. Get that Luke, man.
I got it.
Go ahead.
Luke chapter 10, verse 38. Now it came to pass, as they went, that he entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house.
Right.
And she had a sister named called Mary, which also sat at Jesus' feet and heard his word.
Right.
But Martha was cumbered about much serving, and came to him and said, Lord, dost thou not care that my sister hath left me to serve alone? Bid her therefore that she help me.
See, she was cumbered by that. She wanted to be in there, so to speak, with the grown folk. She was cumbered about with much work. Man, got me in here washing the dishes. I ain't getting the cornbread ready. She in there listening. I want to listen. I want to listen. Go ahead, bro.
But Martha cumbered about much. Did I read that?
Yeah.
And 41. And Jesus answered and said unto her, Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things, but one thing is needful.
What? One thing is what?
One thing is needful. And Mary hath chosen that good part, which shall not be taken away from her.
So when you're looking at this, it's saying the good part, she's sitting here, she's learning about me so that she could teach you. You got to handle that younger business. We got a problem around here with if somebody, you say the elder sisters ain't doing their responsibility, but the law in Titus tells them, elder sisters, teach the younger women how to love their husbands. How do they do that? What example are they going to use but their own husband? In the next breath, you say, well, they can't be teaching our women because it's like they're teaching from that household. Well, what are we going to do then? Whose husband, and how are you going to teach them how to love their husbands unless they got a husband and showing the route? If you say, let them be like the daughters of Sarah, well, Sarah learned from Abraham. It's still a man's house that you're instructing them to learn from. But you can't say, don't teach them, and then the next breath, blame them for not teaching them. That's crazy, ain't it? What you scared of? What you think they're going to say? First of all, sister, do your man go to work? No. Okay, sister. Okay, sister, do he do this? No. Do we do it? If you scared of that, then keep them at home. But don't blame us. Keep them at home. If you bring younger women around here and our elder women are standing in line serving, been out there setting up, and you go let them sit down, shame on you. This Martha situation should take place. They need to be cumbered about learning how to get busy. They're younger. They're going to have to do this a long time. They got to learn how to grow up. You got to start from young women and learn what to do. Are you wasting your time, or you going to have a young woman that she ain't going to learn how to cook? She going to burn water.
See, if they stick with this long enough, their status will change from the younger to the elder. You will have a position.
It's gonna come,
right.
But everybody has to play their part.
Everybody's got to put their work in.
Everybody got to play their part. It's gonna be a chance where you're gonna get to give them that. Just keep on learning this, so when you get a husband, you understand what's supposed to be done. But you can only learn that from a woman who has a husband. Where else they gonna learn it from? See, you elder sisters ain't teaching our younger women. Will you let us? Will you let us? And we understand these things that are going on. We ain't crazy to this. If you ain't down here and your woman down here, you know she's safe. You know ain't nobody looking at her rear end down here. You know she's safe. If she wasn't, you wouldn't send her down here, and your children, because you know your children gonna be safe. They watch children and women down there. Yeah, y'all can go down there. You ain't got to worry about them coming home talking to you crazy, because we ain't going to teach them to back talk to you. But what we ain't gonna have is them sitting idle while our elders sweat and bad feet and ready to sit down and they can't. That's gonna be a problem, the same as the younger men. How you show up when all the work is done and you're young and you're strong and you're spry? Hands on deck was 3 hours ago. Let's read some more. We done with that?
Back in that first Timothy.
Back in that first 10. Y'all just wanted to show you that and understand there's an order to everything. It's so you grow up to understand things so you can be a big mama if it gets to that. You know how to take care of your brother's children. You already got the experience. You have to learn these things because death is on the table. We had a sister here, her daughter got killed. She's got to be a mother all over again with young children. All over again. And with all the drama that come with that because it was so tragic. Go ahead, bro.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 12. Having damnation because they have cast off their first faith.
Bag it up so we can get some understanding. Put that verse before that again. So we can understand where they lost their first faith.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 11. But the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against Christ.
Against who?
Against Christ. They will marry. Having damnation because they have cast off their first faith. And withal, they learn to be idle.
What they learn to be?
Idle. Wandering about from house to house. And not only idle, but tattlers also.
But what?
Busybody.
But tattlers and how you got young women tattling and busybody? Young women. That's a problem, y'all.
Y'all see it was a problem here, and we see it's a problem today. The same thing that they just read of what they doing, they did then, it's still being done today.
See, but it's not the fact he's not saying don't get married. He's saying you already been married once and this happened. Get your mind right, go over it again, be a mother to these children, learn the ropes again so we can get all of that first husband death out of you. Not telling you to forget about him, but just letting you move on and see if you're ready to start this process over again. It's like a bad breakup. Some people will never, I ain't never get married again the way that woman, that first wife of mine treated me. Well, you cannot be half married with a bunch of other women. There ain't no trial runs to keep going because all of them gonna be that to you. No, I ain't gonna do it. No, she may be just like the other one. You can't do it from that perspective. You have to get that out of your mind. You have to get rebounding out of your mind because of all the hey boo brothers that's out there. Hey boo. Look like you tired now, ain't you ready? Legs been together longer than New Edition. Come on, boo. Ain't you ready? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 13 again. And withal they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house. And not only idle, but tattlers also and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not. I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children.
Do what?
Bear children. Guide the house.
Right.
Give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully.
See, so this is what he say I'd rather for you to do. Get married, learn how to raise your children in your house so that nobody can do. If you're doing this, you don't have time to be busybodies. It's a full-time job. Why y'all think daycare is so much? And I hear them prices outrageous. $100 for a week
That's a week. Where you find $100 a week?
It's more than that.
$600-700.
What is it?
Well,
y'all know what the cost of, and you got 2 or 3 younger children. Y'all know what the cost is. This is what people are taxing you for. It costs this much to watch your child. And then a lot of them ain't watching them right. Go ahead, bro.
For some are already turned aside after Satan. If any man or woman that believeth have widows, let them relieve them, and let not the church be charged.
Let not the church be what?
Charged. That it may relieve them that are widows indeed.
See, let not the church be responsible for what you're supposed to be taking care of at home.
Right.
It's not our responsibility to do your work for you. You have to at least get them jump started so when they come here, they already know the rules. Some people you ain't even got to tell nothing to. It's automatic within them. You ain't got to instruct them. They know. They learned it at home. So when they get here, they already know. Who's doing this or who's doing that? I got it. Don't worry about it. Oh, we be with man. Jump right in there. Didn't have to ask no questions. Just got right in there. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 17.
What it say?
Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor.
Right.
Especially they who labor in the word and doctrine.
See, now preachers use this scripture to get paid handsomely. Double honor. That means the plates go around 2-3 times. Come on, y'all, dig deep. He tired of that money that rattles. He wants something that folds. Dig deeper, and the plate come around again. See, because they're using this as double honor. I mean, dig again, and then you got groups out here doing 20% tights, as they call it. Have you out on the street corner working all day selling alls, and then they come through and say, you know the rules. Up there, how you gonna go home? You done sold $300 worth of all, and they done took $290, and you've been out there for 10 hours. Who you gonna feed going home with $10 and been out there 10 hours? That's an hour. That's $1 an hour, ain't it? Huh? Who you gonna feed with $1 an hour? It's a boy in Memphis, was 29 years old, had 27 children. Yes, he did. And was working at the Dollar General. When they divided up his child support, 13 cents a child.
That's it.
What is a child gonna do with 13 cents for a whole month? You're 29 with 27 children. You're talking about being fruitful and multiplying.
They was gonna castrate him.
Who paid for those children now? Working people pay for them. Because you put money in a pot for this fatherless and widow. What do y'all think welfare is? It's their system for the fatherless and the widows. But the only problem with that, they want a payback plan.
Your soul.
No, they want money. That first. They want that money first. Because they wasn't there when y'all was having fun on the other side of midnight. Where's your other half that was involved with this? So y'all, we got to be mindful of what's going on here. And this system almost mirror everything we doing here. It's just the fact they tweak some things that they don't let us know about. Shalom, y'all.
Shalom, family.
So y'all, we have to be extra careful of what's going on here, y'all, with this fatherless and this widows, y'all, in situations like this. 29 years old and 27 children. This boy can have a family reunion by himself.
Or have his own 2 teams play against each other.
So y'all, we're not saying by no means don't do it, but you have to be accountable for yours. We're only to be accountable for them if you dead or you put in a bad situation. But not because you decide to play Xbox all day. No, that don't count. Let's get some more.
Verse 17.
What it say?
Verse 18. For the scripture says, thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn, and thy laborer is worthy of his reward.
See, thy laborer is worthy of his reward. Like saying basically a preacher, if he's doing the work, he's worthy of the hire or the labor of his reward. He already been paid.
Mm-hmm.
The Messiah said, if you do this,
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you live forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's already on the books.
Mm-hmm.
Do a good job and they'll respect, and then they'll know what's coming. But this ain't never said double up for him, because that means if spreading the gospel is your job, then you have to get a salary. And nowhere in this scripture it says a salary for a man teaching the word of God. There's support. If we're coming to your town, well, look, where y'all in California? Oh, no, I can't drive no 21 hours. Hell, I pull over at a rest stop going to Six Flags. Y'all may get out there on a plane ticket, y'all, and drive them 2 hours to y'all location. Can y'all afford that? That's what happens. But to say I'm doing this as a full-time job, then that means 6 days you doing this. The what day you got to take off from this work? The Sabbath. See, then you'll be doing just like the Christian preachers, because they take off on the Sabbath. And they start their ministry on the first day of the week. And they take the Sabbath off.
You run it all the way up till Friday.
If that's your job, you have to stop it one day a week and not do it. So you don't teach on the Sabbath. And the Messiah say every Sabbath he did what? Entered into the synagogue and taught. If you doing this 6 days a week, you can't do that on the 7th day a week if that's your job. It's impossible. What you got back there, LC?
Well, 50 lucre ain't even none of the translations no more.
Huh?
I ain't know about 50 lucre.
Filthy lucre ain't in there no more? In new translation?
None of them. No translation, you don't see 50 lucre. You see it one time in the King James, you be all for the King James.
But we know what it is.
Right.
See, it still say the same thing, because they ain't changed. I should not covet no man's silver or gold. Paul say, with these hands I have worked to pay my way.
That's right.
See, when you look up the word hobo, it'll tell you a transient, just riding from town to town, looking for wherever he can get in. And then it says a man who takes his occupation on the road with him. Paul was a tent maker, and it said that was his occupation. That's what he did 6 days a week, along with teaching. Made tents. He was an expert tent maker. Wherever he showed up, his supplies was with him. And that's what he did to make sure that he didn't have to depend on no other man feeding him. Always two sides to a coin. Don't try to push this one side and don't tell the other side of it. Because Paul ain't do that. Paul, everywhere he went, he handled his own business. And he tell you, hey, these made me eat. This and this make me eat. The Messiah was a carpenter. Joseph, his stepdaddy, was a carpenter. He was gone building houses. When he come back, Mary was pregnant. He's like, wait a minute. I was in Chicago, and I've been there for 4 months. How you 3 months pregnant? Is that math right? So that was the question that him and the angel had about the conception. And conceptions mean, I don't care what concordance you get, to make pregnant. And guess how long it take? That quick. Who know how long it take to get pregnant? How long it take? It's got to be at least less than 6 hours. If it wasn't, it wouldn't be the morning after pill. You're trying to stop this the morning after it done already happened. When Mary said, be it so to the angel, the handmaid Lord, be it so. At that minute, she was pregnant. She conceived at that minute because she believed. She didn't have to stop by Joseph's house on the way to Elizabeth's house and be a BC. Like she heard that hotline ring. Hey, this is Mary. Hey, Joseph, what's up? Yeah, I'm on my way to Elizabeth's. Well, I'll stop by there first. Okay. Really? And you teach that? And you believe that? What can that produce but a blemished lamb? Mm-hmm. A BC call? And the Messiah was produced from a stop off? Mary's a jump off for Joseph? Some things y'all ain't even worth entertaining. It's on the level of ridiculousness. And I like to watch that show, and there's some crazy stuff on there. Go ahead, where we at?
Verse 19.
What it say?
Against an elder, receive not an accusation.
Do what?
Against an elder, receive not an accusation.
Uh-huh.
But before 2 or 3 witnesses.
See, so whatever you hear, you got to have 2 when you're dealing with an elder. Because he's been around. You just can't trust nobody just saying something. You got to have your witnesses lined up before you go against the elder, because you're going against the commandment. Honor thy father and thy mother. 5th commandment. You're going against that. You're going against it when you do that. There's still honor has to be had. And it's a way to do it so that you don't get a bad name in Israel. Go ahead, brother.
Them that sin, rebuke before all, that others also may fear. I charge thee before Yahweh and the Elohim Jesus Christ and the elect angels, that thou observe these things without preferring one before another, doing nothing by partiality.
See, so he charged them by the whole host of heaven that you do things orderly. This is the way you do things. Everybody's watching the way you do things. Go ahead.
Lay hands suddenly on no man, neither be partaker of other men's sin.
Of other men's what?
Sin.
Uh-huh.
Keep thyself pure.
Keep thyself pure. Don't call me with your problems that you having in your house. I ain't gonna call you with mine. Because if your problems keep on, guess what? The next house your problems show up in. This house. Now we got major problems. Now it's turned upside down because you can't keep it in your house. The script tells you, you've come to the altar and you ain't corrected the things out here. Don't leave nothing in the pot. Put that money back in your pocket and go back and fix that, and then come and do what you're supposed to do. You can't give charity, and charity ain't been done at home first. That's where charity starts, at home. So they keep that. I don't need that. You may come back looking for that later, because you gave it to hide something else. No, keep that. Go ahead, bro.
Drink no longer water,
Right?
but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake, and thine often infirmity.
See, it's telling you, see, this is saying you can drink wine, but don't get drunk, all the scriptures say. Drink a little wine for thine infirmity's sake. But thy stomach, it'll soothe your stomach. Just a little wine. Go ahead, bro.
Some men's sins are open beforehand, going before the judge, and some men they follow after. Likewise, also the good works of some are manifest beforehand, and they that are otherwise cannot be hid.
That's right. So let's get right to it, y'all. We want to get right to 2 Samuel chapter 20, verse 3. And what I want to just show here is another situation. Then we're going to get Acts 20. We're going to get 1 Peter 5, y'all. We're going to get on out of here. I got a Sirach 6 I want to hit and a Sirach 10. And y'all, this is just a situation of what we're talking about is how David did widowhood with women who were still alive. And their husband was not dead. What I say, first Samuel, second Samuel?
Second Samuel.
Yes, sir.
23.
That's correct. All right. $20 and what?
3.
Okay.
23 or 20?
20 verse 3. Just a little verse.
No, we won't read on down because there's something very important here. Just read that verse 3. We'll move on for time's sake. Let's run out of time. And y'all, and this is just what David did after his son had went into his 10 wives. Absalom.
Ran amok. All right.
The pretty boy Absalom.
We used to call him that. Second Samuel chapter 20, verse 3. And David came to his house at Jerusalem, and the king took the 10 women, his concubines, whom he had left to keep the house.
To keep the what?
To keep the house.
Uh-huh.
And put them in ward and fed them.
And did what?
And fed them.
Uh-huh.
And went not in unto them. That's what I said. But went not in unto them. So they were shut up unto the day of their death, living in widowhood.
They're still alive and they're living like a widow. Why? Because he couldn't go back into them after his son did. So now they're considered dead women. But what did he keep doing for them?
Feeding them and warding
Huh? He kept doing what?
them. Feeding them and warding them.
See, so he kept them in a house and kept feeding them because he knew this went back to what he did to Uriah the Hittite. It said the sword ain't gonna leave your house. And what you did sneakily, this gonna be done to you openly so all Israel can see it. And Absalom did that because he didn't think David was gonna give him the kingdom, I should say, on his deathbed. So while David was gone, he went to work. But David couldn't do that because you have to understand, men of power forced women to do things back in these days. I'm the king's son. Get naked.
Yes.
All of you, all 10. And when he heard about it, he just said, look, y'all, I'm going to take care of you. Don't even worry about it. But y'all, this is where y'all at this point. I'm going to make sure y'all eat good. I'm going to make sure y'all have a roof over your head. I can't touch y'all no more. I can't come behind my son. Y'all, this is a living book. Y'all, these things that happen in real life. This ain't just something to be reading for soothing read. Oh, what a man that David. And then close it up. No, this was a serious issue. Cost Absalom his life because his top man said, you know, your son got to die behind this. And David was hurt. And he's still my boy. Your boy got to die. And Absalom was known for a fro twice the size of Dr. J. He cut it off once a year, and it weighed 4 shekels. That same big fro that he used to love when he was running and looking, some tree branches was hanging, caught him and flipped him back, and he couldn't get out of the tree because of his afro. And David's top general came and saw him hanging like that and just started slicing him up. And then told him, I had to kill your son. I had to kill that mother for unlawful carnal knowledge. That's why it's always in capital letters, F-U-C-K, for unlawful carnal knowledge. And you put an E-R on it. And that's why we call men, you mother for unlawful carnal knowledge. The man that cursed be the man that has his father's wife. It's a curse. That's why it's a curse word. You black mother, you ugly mother, but we don't know where that comes from and what's the significance of it. And who's the people on earth that say it more than anybody?
Israel.
Who made it famous on Def Jam? I ain't scared of you. There you go. White people even tell jokes about us. And then the Chinese man came down, and then the black man came down, but he could because he said I had to go back up there to this mofo. They put us in there as that word belongs to us. But Paul said about 1 Corinthians 5, it ain't even been reported among the Gentiles doing this. You Israelites you love to have your father's wives. You're sloppy second masters.
Ham and Noah.
We can go on and on and on, y'all, but that's where curse words came from. They was words that pronounce a curse on you. So you have to be careful when you introduce your friend. What's up, dog? No, man, just hanging out with this mom. No, he ain't. Well, that's what we say. This my mofo. This my cursed brother.
I love so much.
And people look at you, boy, how you hanging with a friend like that? His daddy don't trust him. That's where he get the title from. So y'all, it's a lot of things that go on when you understand this living book. Cursing and railing are 2 different things. Railing is to take all of these curse pronounced on men for breaking the law and put them in one sentence. Thus you have Cat Williams. Every other word, it ain't comedy, it's cursing. Look at this ugly mole right here in the front row. And then this, they get through their routine by railing and hurling curse words at the people, and you don't know you're actually pronouncing a curse on them. You're labeling them as that. I mean, we got to the point so much we put curses on ourselves. Man, see, I told them that, man, GD me, man. GD me, man. God damn me. And that's a smooth saying. You standing tall, shoulders out, GD me, man. We done lost our way, y'all. 1 Peter 5. Y'all, we ain't got but a couple more. We're going to get out of here. Y'all, and all we're trying to do is set a standard for around when you're in company. You should be able to trust your brother. You should be able to walk to the car and get something out without worrying about if your brother looking at your woman. If you having them problems, that's why you go into law with each other, because you don't trust each other. We don't have to go to law with each other up in here. Now, come on, sister, we just read Luke to you. Every time. Come on, brothers, now. That's in no way, shape, or form saying don't quote the scripture. It's saying, when do you get to take the note off the refrigerator? Your mama put it up there. Take out the trash, wash them dishes, and clean up your room. First day she come home, one of the three is done. I didn't hear you say that. Point to the note again. Okay, put it back up there. Come home, one of the three is done again. Now it's time for this. And when this comes, this shouldn't go back up there no more. Because we tell our parents when they're doing this, I ain't gonna do what? I ain't gonna do it. What? No more? That's what you're saying, ain't you? At that point, this don't have to go back up. It should be in here. If everywhere you go, I have to show you the letter before you go in there, there's a problem. You have no integrity because you can't account for Lot not losing his, and this don't come close yet. Not yet anyway. But this kingdom gonna get worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. Because it say that ain't gonna be able to compare to what's coming. You know why? Because they got robots out here that act like humans now. Look like humans, feel like humans. It's going to take the place of women for some women. It's going to take the place of some men for women. You got the Cutler 3000. See you, Earl. The Cutler 3000 in here. When he's done, he's going to hold me till I tell him to stop. You got the Shut Up 3000. When he get through with a shut up, robot, go back in your closet. Yes, Lord. And the robot go back in the closet. These will be getting married because they're already trying to give them rights now. They're trying to give chimpanzees rights now. So once they get rights, they're going to be legally to be married. So when you pass a car and see a chimpanzee and somebody in full French kissing, don't be surprised. It's just going to be open now. Let's get some more.
1 Peter chapter 5.
Yes, sir.
Where you want to go?
Start at 1.
Start at 1. Everybody there?
1 second. Y'all, we ain't got long. We're just gonna get a couple more, y'all. And what we're trying to do is establish a little bit of order in the household. And if everybody handling their business, we should have no problems in this household. But we're not going to be on the freeloader program. It's not a successful program. It can't move anything forward. Because you're going to have the same situation. When you read in that Acts 5, when it said all the people brought their stuff and put it in one pile and every man had everything common. The only problem with that statement, if nobody has nothing to bring to put in the pile, then they're living for free. If you just show up and get a TV, get a couch, you get a whole house furnished and you ain't put in the pot, there's something wrong with that program, ain't it? See, when they said every man had everything common, if I got a TV and I got an extra one, ain't nobody watching, then I'll put that in the pot. So the person that ain't got a TV got a TV now. He may not have the one I got. He may not have a smart TV. But all he got to do is put a little aluminum foil on that antenna on the one I gave him. And he can get his picture crystal clear too. But everybody had the same thing. If I had this type of car and I got this one in the garage and ain't nobody driving, now you got a car to drive. But then everybody just dumped everything into a pile and they divvied it up. Somebody is going to be mad about that calculation because somebody ain't putting in the pot. Go ahead, brother. What you got to say?
One back, I used to run a congregation.
All right, so
Once a year,
Shalom.
he had given everyone would bring whatever they were not using. Whether appliances, or whatever.
Whatever they were not using. Absolutely.
And it would be, things would be lying around the wall.
Right.
And so those people that did not have, they could come and receive.
Right.
And it made me think about what you just said. And this is free. And people would give, I mean, from diamond rings to refrigerators and stuff. And so we would, like I said, whatever they did, and there's several times people would give cars.
Right.
And things like that. This really happened in these days. So I thought about what you just said. This was the times of that. But there was a church, and I do know a person that
was handling business like that. See, because if you don't, we're going to fall into a camp mentality of where what you do is now you put a fence around everybody. And when you're reading about the things that happen in Dimona, I'm talking about eyewitness account. What you look like, you at work and somebody show up and pick up your check and you a grown man. And peel off you some money out of your check. 13, 14, 15. And put this in their pocket and say, this going back to the camp. Y'all see anything wrong with that picture? How you gonna work 40 hours and come home and your woman looking at you and you got $15 and 15 children? But this is what they convinced them of, that this is the kingdom. This is that act that we put all things common. Show up at my job looking for my check and see what happens. Who out there? Who in human resources? Oh, I'll be up there. Hey, y'all, I got to take lunch early. The only person can be in there is garnishment. And they asking for a percentage. You get the whole. But you already owed him. But just talking about to send men to your job and get your check. And that's what was going on around there. And once they're able to do that to you, there's no scripture you can keep because you can't take care of your household. So now they put you in the worse than an infidel status because you're taking care of everybody else's household and yours is left abandoned. And not only, guess what else they was doing? If you had a 3-bedroom apartment, guess what they're not going to do? You got company. You don't get to tell them they can't come in. It's 6 families out here. Move into your 3-bedroom apartment. And ain't nothing you can say. You got 6 other families in here. You don't even know who they are. You don't know if they thieves, murderers, or what. They live with you now. Y'all think about that. There's 6 more families with 1 bathroom. And you don't know them. Somebody gonna get the door opened on them at the wrong time. Somebody gonna be undressed and the door gonna open. And then it's gonna be chaos. Because how you gonna tell another man that same house? I seen what you working with, dog. What do you mean you seen what I'm working with?
Take it off.
Something's gonna be problems, ain't it? Y'all, let's finish this up. We ain't got long.
1 Peter 5, verse 1.
What it say?
The elders which are among you, I exhort,
Right?
who am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Christ, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Feed the flock of God. You want to say feed who?
No, not
Feed
yet.
the flock of God, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint,
Right?
but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind.
So this is how you feed the flock of the Most High. Willingly, of a ready mind. See, when you're ready to, what's going on? What we need to do? Okay, because you're an example for the young ones to let them know the work don't stop. Not for what?
Filthy lucre.
Not for filthy lucre, but of a willing mind. That you put these things together as you keep going and let them know, y'all, this is how long this has to go till I can't do it no more. Not by what? Constraint. No, we are not ordered to do anything. If you don't want to do it, you ain't got to do it. It says willingly to take the oversight. If we see some, sure, we ain't got enough people, an elder got to step in. An elder never get to the point that we're like church, pastor get an anniversary. Pastor get a retire. Since when you get to retire from the gospel? It ain't dead. Where that start at? And then you collect anniversary. So what's the number of years he get to get in before you give him a collection for being an elder of the church? When do you set a day aside for him like that? Because everybody gonna get into it to be an elder then. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 3. Neither is being lords over God's heritage.
Neither being what?
Lords over God's heritage. But being examples to the flock.
See, we can't lord over this. If you hear me say, brother, I'm an elder, you get that shovel. Then hit me with that shovel upside the head because there's something going on up here. There's something going on up here. I got a few screws loose, need tightening back up. At least say, boy, get out the way. Your pants falling down, elder, give me that shovel. Okay, boy, yeah, I'm sweating in places. There ain't no sweat could be right now. Yeah, go ahead, young man. You done got enough. But can't lord over. Can't make them do what you want to do because you're an elder. Got to put in work to the casket drop. It said to the casket drop. That means including when you become an elder. You can't stop. It ain't a point you're looking for the oversight. We missed that right there. We missed that right there. We got to do that. The elders are watching to see what's missing. And then you have to get up and go do that. Oh, the elder had to get that. We missed that. But ain't got a clue of getting up and have to hit them stores and have to store that stuff and then get it prepared. And you got brother to get up early. And if you tell Ishua, yeah, be here at 8. You better be up at 8. I'm talking about dressed at 8 because it's 7:59 and 58 seconds. I'm outside, Daniel. Okay. I'm dressed. I'm dressed, bro. Hold on. But already as example for the next ones to see, it has to be done. We got 500 people coming and people coming from out of town. You think we can be just standing back waiting? Man, is it a feast day today? Is it a feast day today?
Ain't nobody told me nothing.
You just woke up when it's supposed to be starting. We way behind the 8 ball now. Yo, I'm not going to take a second seat to being a servant first to this house. I'm not going to be belittled because somebody ain't understanding that from out of town and teaching y'all not to respect that and not to honor that. I'm not asking y'all to bosom me. But the bottom line, I ain't gonna take no second seat to that, nor would I, somebody that been to school going and got a PhD, I'm gonna look at that like, oh, that ain't nothing. That's time, money, and hard earning, but they down here to get the law of this, which they can't get in a college. But I'm not gonna belittle that. I'm not gonna belittle 401k that you storing up, because how do you get 401k? You have to do what? So why would I talk about that? Because unless You can't get no 401k. But that's a part of you saying, I can't save money. Y'all save money for me in case I get to 65. If I don't, at least it's inheritance left for my children. But you ain't gonna get none of that doing this all day. And a bowl of cornflakes this big. A half a gallon of milk in one bowl and you set it back. That ain't gonna get it. It ain't no excuse for that, because the Most High makes sure wherever you at, the seasons keep you working. There ain't enough people out there to pick up leaves. There ain't enough snow of people out there to shovel up snow. There's too much grass for every grass company. And I'm just saying, I know that may be hard work, but eventually it's gonna turn into easy work. Y'all see the little boy out there, they call the police on him cutting the grass, and he went over into the neighbor's yard, they call the police on him, saying he cutting my grass too. The police show up, he's like, I'm sorry, officer, I got a little grass cutting business. He's 10 years old. Got his 2 younger sisters working with him. They raking. Guess what he done got now? Business. He got $46,000 already. People done donated to get his business started. He said, I'm finna expand. That's right. At 10 years old. At 10 years old. Y'all Google it. Police called on young man for cutting grass. Now he got a business. He got John Deere tractors now. At 10 years old, and got his 2 sisters working with him. And it was Daily Mail.
He cut 1 foot into the neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
So they called the police. The other person wanted him cutting their grass, but he cut 1 foot into their yard. So they called the police.
That's my brother 10.
10.
10 years
For 8 or 10. Y'all see the video? He out there going to work. Everybody throwing in the pot now. Get him his own business. Get him his own business. He need it. Shit.
Right, won't do nothing.
Boy, and they talk about it's a line out there. I can't go out there. Shit, y'all seen how deep that snow is? I ain't going out there. Do you know how hot it is out there? Ain't no Gatorade. I'm not going out there. And guess what happened later on? You ain't got $5 or $6, do you? $5 or $6.
Right.
That stopped me at a young man sitting on the porch, then already planned the date off my mama's paycheck. Soon as she come in and she had that, I'm tired, I got paid. But all the money gone except what we need to get me to the next pay period. And she had that walk. Oh, gee, you ain't got 20, do you? Boy, I ain't got no money. And the devil told me, ask her, then she get paid today. And I asked her, didn't you get paid today? I'm telling you, whatever had her tired left at that point. And she looked like she was 12 feet tall. She said, if you ever in your life ask me about my money, I'll break your neck. I tell you what, come Monday, if you ain't working somewhere, you're gonna have a serious discussion. I had applications in my room thick as a phone book. I ain't had filled out nothing but my first name home. That's when you used to get applications. Y'all taking applications and you take them back home. I had a stack this tall. I ain't filled out. But boy, I was filling them out then. Call them up. Hey man, y'all still need help in the mail room? I'll check. Do y'all need help? Man, I told you I checked Monday. I'm like, man, I got to get to work immediately. I got to get to work immediately. I've been working ever since. Right. But sometimes it take that. That's right. But the devil is dirty. Go and ask your mama, did she get paid today? Go ahead, bro. Let's finish 4. This up. What it say?
And when the chief shepherd
and when the who?
The chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away.
So this lets you know that it wasn't talking about giving them double honor and fattening their pockets up. It said your reward show up when the chief shepherd show up. He got you. Already got your mansion laid out. Already had a spiritual 401k working for you. You got a mansion with 1,000 cattle on the hill. Either y'all, that's just ink on paper, y'all, or we got faith to believe that'll happen for this hard work that you do. Till the casket drop. It ain't nowhere in this scripture say an elder sit back and watch. Unless he can't walk or he can't do anything, but there's always going to be something to do to show the younger ones till the casket drop. If you give me an anniversary, the youngest going to be looking at, so all I got to wait till I'm 43. Because these preachers getting younger and younger and getting anniversaries and all of these days. Ain't none of them required the requirement of being a deacon. Like First Tim talking about, can't be a novice. But today, you a deacon based off of your salary. Oh, yes, they told me you were a new member, and we don't mean any harm, but we're just ensuring that everyone has a livelihood. And they say you have your W-2 because Creflo Dollar checks W-2. Oh, $80,000 a year? Welcome, deacon.
Junior minister.
Ain't tried him, don't see what he know his pockets thick. Let's finish this up, y'all. We're gonna get on out of here.
Verse 5.
What it say?
Likewise, ye younger.
Likewise, ye who?
Ye younger.
Submit
yourselves unto the elders. Yea, all of you be subject one to another.
See, so it ain't telling the young ones you gotta listen to me. It said, be subject to one another. Christ washed the disciples' feet. So who would let me tell them, boy, you three in that back row, I'm an elder. No, we're subject to one another. If I'm this old and I'm still getting it in, ain't no reason for you not to be getting it in. Let's get some more.
Yea, all of you be subject one to another and be clothed with humility.
Be clothed with what?
Humility. For God resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble. Humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time.
In due time, you'll get your status that you're looking for. But first, you got to practice subjecting yourselves to one another. If you don't, there's nothing coming in due time.
Spiritual growth.
Let's get some more. We're going to finish this off, y'all. We're going to get on out of here. I got one more I want to hit, and then we're going to get on out of here.
Okay, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you.
For he do what?
He careth for you. Be sober.
Be what?
Be sober. And vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Now, this said be sober, and we just read drink a little wine. So this can't mean you can't drink wine. It said just be sober. Be in the awareness at all the time. If you drink and you start walking and it look like you stepping in fence post holes, you ain't sober no more. If you driving and you have to let the window down and the sunroof open and you have to pat your leg, to stay woke, to try to get home. Riding out the car like a dog. Sober, y'all, and it only means don't be drunk with power either. Donald Trump is drunk with power. He don't care who or what he say to anybody. He said you can grab a woman right there. He called Maxine Water everything but curly stooges. Huh?
He says she's not very intelligent.
Everything but not curly stooges. He look at her and say, is that a rock on your shoulders or you just stupid? He talk about anybody, talk about John McCain. He's a draft dodger, but talk about a man that was a war prisoner for many years. He said he likes the heroes that won captured. Well, we know you weren't going to be one because you wasn't going to be captured with 10 letters to the government that you had bone spurs in your heel. And you going to talk about somebody that's been captured? Drunk with power. And then what you going to say to him that's going to make him back off? He's a billionaire 3 times over. And he's the most powerful man on planet Earth right now. If you don't believe it, get that one when he went to the G20 and they had him standing back, he moved to the front. Get back. I mean, I ain't seen elbows like that since Bill Russell and a few of them other old boys in the paint. Get back. And stood in the front. And they looking like, man. Finish this up, boy.
Verse 8.
What it say?
Be sober, be vigilant. We're at verse 9. Who resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
Right.
But the God of all grace, who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Christ Jesus, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
So to him be the glory. Don't give me no glory. It's the glory is for him. I'm thankful to be alive. That's it. You don't owe me no bowing or washing my feet about that. I'm on borrowed time. Should have been dead a long time ago. And you think I'm a lord over you? But what I ain't gonna let you do is lord over me and a younger man or whatever. You gonna take for granted no more than, like I say, somebody hard work, you'll look at it like it ain't nothing. I'm not gonna apologize for me being a servant. Neither am I gonna accept apology from anybody else who ain't been. We ain't gonna play with each other like that. We're men. You know what men's supposed to do. Let's get some more.
You want to Acts 29?
We finished all of that?
The last is just the greetings.
Okay.
Give it to the people.
Yeah, let's get this last one. Y'all gonna get on out here and close out. Sirach. And this is in the Apocrypha, y'all. I want y'all to write these down. Write down Romans 16. And you're gonna see how he dealt with sisters that's been, elder sisters that's been in the church and the order that he gives. And also that Titus chapter 2, verse 3 through 5. Cause in this rebuilding, lock and load, y'all, we got to be re-instructed. There has to be a level of trust. If these scriptures say, do this, elder women, teach the younger women this. There's only 1 or 2 things you can do. Leave them at home and you teach them. But don't send them down here and then say, I don't want you teaching them, and then blame us for not teaching them. Teach them at home. Teach them at home. Because what's happening is when they start getting in the groove and they start learning, then you pull them from us. You're learning too much down there. What we got? Did we hit Acts 20, 25 yet?
No, that's where I'll probably go next.
Go there at the X, and then we'll finish up, y'all, with the Sirach 6 and we get on out of here.
I'll read that, just that right now. It's just in 1 verse. Acts chapter 20, verse 25 says.
I want you to read down a bit. Hold on.
Okay. Actually, to 35 is what I have.
You did?
I got 28 to 35. I run this 25.
Go start at 22. And we'll read down to 28. Where you want to go? You want to go down a little bit further?
28.
Okay.
Wait.
It's up to you.
No, I had 28 and 35.
Go ahead. And y'all, what we're talking about, y'all, is integrity from the time you get into this walk to you dead. There's a level of integrity. If you don't know what that means, you're going to have to look that word up and apply it to your life. Because that's what your soul is. It's what the Most High measures. He don't care about none of that other stuff, but your integrity is what he'll judge. Everywhere we look, every time Satan come, he like, who? That man's got integrity, Joe. He like, only way he got it because you got that hedge around him. Let me get at it. Let me get at Joe. He like, you wasting your time. It's already locked in his soul. You can't touch integrity though. That's your bound. Satan cannot touch integrity. If you don't lose your integrity, the only thing he can touch is your flesh. He can never cause you to go to the lake of fire because he knows that you can't have a free case. He just put the free case in front of you and see if you bite. And when we do, it's a problem, man. Why y'all think this tree of good and evil? What is that on the back of here? Can y'all see that far? That's an apple. What's missing in it? A bite? It's good and evil, ain't it? Huh? I can look up how to be a good steward in the assembly. I can also look up big black right here and it'll come. Tree of good and evil. And it's at the end of your right hand. You can do everything with it. Swipe with it, card with it, do everything else. You cannot, and you see people driving. I actually seen people doing like this. This is locked to your right hand already. And up here. Know why? Because everything you Google come from up here. It'll start to finish your sentence. Big black and it'll list everything. And the one highlighted is the one you just looked at. Go ahead.
Acts chapter 20, verse 22.
What it say?
And now, behold, I go bound in the spirit unto Jerusalem, not knowing the things that shall befall me there, save that the Holy Ghost witnesses in every city, saying that bonds and afflictions abide me.
Right.
But none of these things move me, neither count I my life dear unto myself.
What he say?
Neither do I count my life dear unto myself.
Look, y'all, we just read the devil out there. How can we count our life dear to ourselves? And he on your trail. Y'all, but you, and then the next script say, enjoy the fruits of your labor. Y'all, is it like the Most High is playing with us? He's saying, no, y'all are getting through a curse. It's like being on a punishment. You're waiting for the time when your parents say, go on outside. But you can't keep walking by their room thinking they're going to let you go outside and then come back this way and then come back again and then come back again, cross their room, and they sitting in there watching TV like they don't even see you. Until you want back, come here. What I tell you? I was just saying you. And you go back to your room and wait till your time is up. But what you're doing is you should be at that point practicing. I don't ever want to put myself in this position again, that where I'm locked in this room. I don't want to ever have to do that and be told to get like, because if you don't obey that parent, you're going to get the parent of the state and they don't play. They'll tell you, we're going to lock you in this room till you dead. There's no parole. Austin Lane coming to get you. So you get your mind straight when you're younger. And then when you're an adult, you know how to present yourself. Or we're going to be caught in these traps. What any of us look like getting a 20-year bid right now at our age? You through at that point. Almost 80 years old and talking about, man, is they still down at the Sears building? That's been gone.
Serious building.
Yeah. Did we finish that?
No.
Go ahead.
So that I might finish my course with joy in the ministry which I have received of the Lord Jesus to testify the gospel of grace to testify the gospel of the grace of God.
See, he says, so that I may finish my ministry in what? With what?
Joy.
How you just see affliction and joy right there? Huh? Y'all think this is where Frankie Beverly got that jam, joy and pain? Sunshine and rain? Go ahead.
25. And now, behold, I know that ye all, among whom I have gone preaching the kingdom of God, shall see my face no more. Wherefore I take you to record this day that I am pure from the blood of all men.
See, that's what you want. Because look, at one time before the road to Damascus, he was not pure. Now, after the walk of the road to Damascus, he's cleaned up all that bad behavior, went back to everybody he wronged and got it right with them. Those who were still left alive, he had to walk back to that path and tell you, I was dead wrong. But now I'm getting old. I ain't got to worry about it. Ain't no blood on my hands. I ain't got to go back and figure out who I did this to. I done went back and cleaned up that mess. Some people, you may not be able to go back. So you got to get that mess clean with the Most High. So you have to come to him and admit whatever you done to somebody else, and you can't go back to him. If you was a Crip, you can't go back to them Bloods. Not at least in their neighborhood. And if you dress like them to get back in there, your old boy's gonna see you dress like them. So some things you have to just take to the Most High and tell him, I'm sorry about that. Can you clear that for me with them? Because you still got to live in this area. You can't go on a hide mission. Go ahead, bro.
27.
Yeah.
For I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of God.
See, I have not shunned. Mean I ain't put it aside on nothing. I gave y'all everything that was given to me. If you start talking about, I'm finna create something, I'm finna write something better than this, then you're shunning. Because if you put it in another book and you're selling, then you ain't told me everything I do. What you selling greater than this? How? 28, did you get that?
No.
Hit it.
28. Take heed therefore unto yourselves and to all the flock over the which the Holy Ghost hath made you overseers.
Have made you what?
Overseers. To feed the church of God.
To do what?
To feed the church of God, which he hath purchased with his own blood.
So I'm under orders. I have to ensure, if I can't, that somebody else fulfill a role. That make sure we got a place in the assembly to fellowship, to look forward to the feast days, to enjoy the feast days in this captivity, to watch our children grow and have a good time because they don't know what we're going through yet. All they see is the monkey bars and the slide board. And the food and everything for it that they have as children and should be able to grow up as children till it's time for them to start taking responsibility. I'm talking, we getting so bad to the point we give them a note to get a teach. Here what y'all believe. I don't want to tell them you better not stand for the flag. Go get it to your teacher. Him say, I can't do this. You supposed to be up there telling that teacher what he can't do. How you gonna send a child to do a man's work? Him say, I can't do this. Sign, man. Yo, we starting to get ridiculous at this.
Man, been Israel.
What time we got, bro? I know you got to get out of here. What we got? This is just Sirach 6. Y'all gonna get out of here. We just gonna read a couple verses. Y'all gonna get out of here. You gotta leave out of thing. Y'all, and this is just, y'all, we can't do none of this. We can't be brethren to each other until we start to accept each other as friends. And when you a friend, I don't care who you introduce. I don't care if they ain't in the walk. If you tell me, this my partner, this my friend, you've been knowing this person, they respect what you believe. They ain't never crossed the lines with you. They may not be there yet, even if it's been 30 years old, but they know the rules of how you're moving your life. It ain't nothing wicked. This is a friend and been proven. Yo, we making fair weather friends. They only around when it's good. Only around when it's good. When it get bad, they gone. Gone like good candy. And y'all write down these other ones about friends. All of that Proverbs chapter 18 get into friend. It says friends that stick closer than a brother.
Just repeat that down.
All of Proverbs 18 chapter. We don't have time to get into it. About a friend that stick it closer than a brother. All of us got partners like that. I got a partner, Chimera. We met in 1968 in the 2nd grade. Y'all looking like, damn, down here, your birth certificate wrote on a rock, ain't it? But I see him every week. Every week. That's how long he been a friend. Don't have to be like a friend in this walk, but he know the walk. He respect the walk. When he call, he say, it ain't got nothing, you ain't got nothing going on with your church, do you? No, bro, come on. Okay. That's what he asked first. Yeah, we holding on to friends we don't know 2 weeks and calling them a friend. Sirach chapter 6. You got up on the board, bro? Boy, y'all ain't got it. Y'all, we're going to get right through this.
You know, where you want to start it, man?
Just start at 1. We're going to just read down to verse 13. Just quick. I ain't going to stop.
All right, reading in the book of Sirach.
To 17.
Ecclesiasticus.
Yo, we out of here after this, y'all.
Chapter 6 and verse 1.
What it say?
Instead of a friend, become not an enemy.
See, that's first. You got to first, before you become a friend, you can't be an enemy. That's going to be a problem. St. Louis too small to have enemies. Satan is your only enemy and should be. Go ahead.
For thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name.
What kind of name?
An ill name. Shame and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that hath a double tongue. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart.
In thine own what?
In thine own heart.
You got to be careful when you say this the way I feel. You're counseling yourself. You have to make sure it's coming out of here. Unless you're saying it's a feeling of discernment, the Spirit got it on me. I'm discerning this. Go ahead.
That thy soul be not torn in pieces.
That it be not what?
Torn in pieces as a bull straying alone. Thou shalt eat up thy leaves and lose thy fruit and leave thyself as a dry tree.
See, you'll burn up everything. And when you leave yourself as a dry tree, meaning you put in a position, you didn't have nothing to spread about. You didn't produce anything. There's a spiritual dry tree called a eunuch. That means he's had a problem in a certain area that where he can't produce seed. And then there's men that make themselves eunuchs, like Paul and the Messiah. Where they didn't have no concern about a woman, so to speak, from that perspective. My job is to spread the word of God. I need to be fruitful that. I need to get as many spiritual children as I can, and I'll have children by them. I'll enjoy their children if I can't have none. Go ahead.
Verse 4.
What it say?
A wicked soul shall destroy him that hath it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemy.
Right?
Sweet language will multiply friends.
See, sweet language multiply friends. You can talk smooth, you can talk a good game, you'll get some friends for a minute. Go ahead.
And a fair speaking tongue will increase kind greetings. Be in peace with many.
Be what?
Be in peace with many.
Right?
Nevertheless, have but one counselor of 1,000.
One of 1,000, y'all. At least have the Messiah at the counselor as your counselor, because he's getting his instructions from the Father. One of 1,000. Can't be listening to everybody, every which way the wind blow. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 7.
What it say?
If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first.
Do what?
Prove him first.
How do we do that, y'all? How do we prove a friend? You first got to see what he does to the friends he got. If he's stabbing his partners in the back, how he gonna be your partner?
Right.
Go ahead.
If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
Be not hasty to credit him. You ain't even proved him yet. You don't know the background of this man or this woman. This my friend. No, it ain't. You didn't see the news last week? That's a carjacker. Go ahead.
Verse 8. For some man is a friend for his own occasion.
For what is what?
His own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
Will not be there in the time of trouble. He's a fair weather friend. As long as the sun's shining out there and it's a cool breeze, 78 degrees, he your partner. But soon as a storm comes, gone. Go ahead.
And there is a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, will discover thy reproach.
See, those are friends that you can't trust, but y'all walk together every day. But I don't trust you, so I have to keep showing you that the law while we riding together. Yeah, dog. When we get there. Yeah, make that left, dog. You got to do that to your friend every day. You don't trust, so you have to keep him on guard about his behavior. You can't ride like that with nobody, because he ain't told you he riding hot and dirty. How he at the stoplight and you looking over here, and then when you turn around, his door open and he gone. And then you look back and the police behind you. Who got to talk to the police now? Sir, whose car is this? This is my partner's. This is a 2017 Mercedes. Where's your partner? And your keys appear to be a screwdriver. Now you sitting on this side. He's really an enemy now, because you ain't going to jail for that issue. Look, officer, he just picked me up, didn't tell me it was hot as fire. I knowed he was hot as fish grease. I'd have never got in here. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
What it say?
Again, some friend is a companion at the table.
Right.
And will not continue in the day of thy affliction.
Look, when it's food out and it's drink out, everybody hollering they best friends. Because as long as it's eating and drinking, there's joy around. So everybody appears to be friendly at this point. Shalom, shalom. Boy, look at this buffet. Hey. Shalom, shalom. Go ahead, boy. Let's finish this up.
Verse 11. But in thy prosperity, he will be as thyself.
Right.
And will be bold over thy servants. If thou be brought low, he will be against thee, and will hide himself from thy face.
Man, say he lost his job and Man, he been hit by identity theft. He ain't got nothing left. Now he call you ain't nothing but a dial tone. You've reached your used to be friend when you had some money, but I'm no longer here. Click up. Finish that last verse, bro.
Verse 13.
What it say?
Separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends. A faithful friend is a strong defense.
What is he?
He is a strong defense.
He got your back. Go ahead.
And he that hath found such an one hath found a treasure.
Found a what?
A treasure.
See, this is why the man that findeth a wife have found a what? That have to be your friend first if you married. You got to have her as a friend. She can't be your enemy. In the same bed? And you selling wolf tickets and go to sleep? It's crazy glue time for you. Pour crazy glue all in your loin area and then arouse you and run out of the house.
Oh.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 15.
What it say?
Nothing doth countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable.
See, you know what a certain friend ain't gonna do. You know when you tell a man a secret, it ain't gonna burst him to tell somebody else. You know it. If you didn't, you wouldn't tell him the most sacred things. If you thought he'd divulge those things, you would not tell him. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 16.
What it say?
A faithful friend is the medicine of life.
What is it?
It's the medicine of life. And they that fear the Most High shall find him. Whoso feareth the Most High shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also.
So when your friend is like yourself, what are we counseling each other every time we see each other? Brother. Why? We friends. If we see something and then we have to discuss it, but we ain't challenging each other the whole ride to the feast day. No, nickel. No, nickel. We can close out. Anybody got any questions?
Read the last one.
Last verse. Okay, get that last one. 18.
What's that, 18? Verse 18. My son, gather instruction from thy youth up.
From where?
From thy youth up. So shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age.
Very good. Thanks, sis. Because look, that's when wisdom comes. From your youth up, you're going to have to get old one day, and you're going to have wisdom applied to your life. If you're 50 and you keep talking about when I was 25, you've lost 25 years of life. You're not going back to 25. You can't talk to 25-year-old as like, if I had been 25. You're not 25. You can get all the plastic surgery wrong. You can pull these back like how we do now in the mirror. Damn. You can try to pull these up till they get up to your neck. But guess what? Say your age, your birth certificate. It's still going to be the same because you can't go inside your chest and straighten your heart out and your livers and kidneys. You can do this. Where we at? You finna close out?
Yeah.
Everybody good? Slow, man. What you got? Okay. Oh, about the camping. All right, y'all. So we've already acquired the camping grounds for the Feast of Tabernacles, y'all. But like we're saying, these things have to be taken care of so far in advance. This was reserved the second week of May for the end of September. We got to get a lock on it. 22nd. The only problem this time, 27th through the 30th. So that's that Thursday, September the 27th, and we leave the 30th, that Sunday afternoon. The only problem is, y'all, somebody beat us to the punch. We was a week late. and they got one of our campgrounds. So we got 2 now, but we short group now. So it's working out perfect. But what we should have out there is no distractions, because we got everybody in here, y'all. So right now, y'all, so we'll get with Sister Naomi. We'll get the information out concerning the dates, so you can get prepared to get off if you're at work, because we're talking about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, we could have went the the front end of it, but it would require you to take another day off of work. And then we got children out of school. So y'all, we have to make adjustments on the fly sometime. You know, so we got campground locked. We'll get the information out for everybody to respond, and then we'll have it locked in, y'all. But we're going to get the information out. Don't y'all worry about it. We just want y'all to understand it's already locked and loaded. Already been paid for. Contracts already signed. And once again, we always say, ain't no bail money. Be on your best behavior. We're not going to quote you chapter and verse the whole weekend you're out there. We're going to tell you before, ain't no bail money. You can get way out there to where our campground is at and act crazy if you want to. You're going to be out there. What else we got? We good? Ish, you got anything? Yeah, y'all stretching, ain't you?
All right, we're going to get this closed in prayer with the Most High's permission. In the name of his only begotten Son, who currently sits at his right hand, soon to return and set the record straight. Long live the King. Long live the King.
Let me say this too, though. We're going to get a funeral announcement out there as well. The brother Daweed, Sister Tabitha's husband that passed on, is coming up this week. The arrangements, the wake and the funeral. So we'll have that information out to you, and not later than tomorrow, for all those need to know. And like I say, continue to pray. You know, we got some Texas family, Brother Keith out there, Sister Bayard now, y'all, and anybody else, y'all, who we know that's sick and shut in. We want to make sure they get in on this prayer right here. Mike Hayel, yes, sir. Go ahead, bro.
Psalm 13th chapter, and it reads, How long wilt thou forget me, O Yahweh? Forever? How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? Consider and hear me, O Yahweh, my power. Lighten mine eyes, yes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest my enemies say, I have prevailed against him. And those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. But I have trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto the Most High. I will sing unto the Most High, because he hath dealt bountifully with me. Hallelujah! Say
If y'all got a shekel or two, y'all, we greatly appreciate it. Clean up after yourselves, y'all. Please pick up them sunflower seeds, them old pampers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, do.
Yeah.